Hey everybody, hope you're doing great and hope you're having a good week. You made it halfway through, just about, so I hope that's a good feeling for you. And I hope that you are enjoying August. It's here and it's a great month, but it's a tricky month too because things are changing. School is coming, fall is gonna fast approach, so enjoy these summer days while you can. I wanted to share with you a thought from the book of Acts. That's what I'm reading right now. Fascinating book, and the beginning of it is so cool. Luke is writing here about Jesus leaving, which he had covered briefly in his gospel, but he wanted to add a little bit more here in the first chapter of Acts. And it says in verse 9, "Now when Jesus had spoken these things, while they watched, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." Could you imagine what that would be like? I mean, they'd seen Jesus do some amazing things, and I'm sure they were starting to get used to that maybe. And they, of course, had experienced the resurrection. But now they watch Jesus go ooh, up into the sky. I'm guessing that their eyes went up and their jaws went down, and they just watched. And then it says, "And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel." So they are just staring and staring, and I'm sure just slack-jawed at what's happening. And in their lives, there's not too many times that angels appear to the disciples. It happened, of course, at resurrection morning when they appeared to the women. There were angels that worked a little bit in the book of Acts, as we're going to see, in rescuing Peter from prison, but not a whole lot. But this moment was so important that God sent two angels to tell them this, as these guys are staring up into heaven. It says they stood by and they said, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus who was taken up from heaven, from you into heaven, will so come in like manner as you saw him go into heaven." Interesting words there. Why do you stand staring up? So basically, part of what they were getting at was your job now is not just to stare at heaven waiting for Jesus to come. There's more for you to do because, of course, Jesus had promised, go back to Jerusalem, wait there until the Holy Spirit comes. And then you're going to be my witnesses everywhere, to the whole world. That was their job, to be witnesses to Jesus everywhere, not to stand staring, waiting. But then they give more counsel and they say, look, the same Jesus who left is going to come back in the same manner that he left. When he left, they saw him. When he left, he was a real person. That means when he comes back, we're going to see him. He's going to be a real person. And so we have that promise there about the second coming. But we also have the instruction to not just stand staring, waiting. When's he getting here? When's he getting here? And let that be all of our focus. Although we can get excited for heaven, we should get excited for the second coming. But the fact that he's coming should encourage us, just like the early disciples were encouraged. Go and be witnesses everywhere. So let's do that. Let's not just stare into heaven. Let's be about the Lord's work and telling others there is an amazing God who loves us and who's coming again to our world. Everyone take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. We hope that you'll join us for worship this weekend. We have our worship service, be at 11 o'clock, and our Sabbath school classes are at 9:30. They're both online and in person. We hope that you will join us. Until then, take care, everyone, and let's take care of each other.